Yes.
Correct. Welcome everyone. This is a regular scheduled meeting, scheduled finance meeting. Today's September 3rd, 2025. It is 5:15. 30 members around the table. We have Councilor Beck, Councilor Campbell, Councilor Dean, myself, Councilor Poignant. I'm pinch-hitting tonight for Councilor Associate Chair, LS. Councilor Hobbs. You want to do that? Good for the team. Also around the table, we have Councilor Leonard, Councilor Mallard, and Councilor Chair Pelletier. First up on the agenda, Disney purchasing, custodial services. Horrible is great for it.
Stephanie Kimball.
Stephanie Kimball.
Okay. Okay. So the first bid that we have up is the custodial services for the airport, city hall, and public health and community services. Airport staff, in collaboration with other city departments, requests the finance committee to approve the award to the low bidder, Star Janitorial and Integrated Services out of Danvers, Mass. 8 bids were received and reviewed in the amounts that ranged from 1.9 to 2.6 million for a 3-year contract. The vendor has substantial experience overseeing large complexes and multi-million-dollar custodial contracts, including presence at municipalities and airports in New England. It was approved through the annual budget process. They offered an additional task for wheelchair services for BGR if the air carriers agree to the proposed terms. The costs associated with the wheelchair services will be a pass-through to participating air carriers. So we ask for approval for custodial services.
Questions?
I do ask a question. I just want to let you know, I think probably before council, if there's public, I know some public comment is here tonight. So I don't know if that's first before council or after council.
Oh.
I've got some questions.
Are there questions from the public on this issue?
Yes, speak.
Yes, you may. Why don't you come up to Okay, there's a chair. You can have mine.
There's a chair there.
Thanks. Okay.
Geez, I'm old fashioned, we right together. Okay. Tell you my age.
That's on paper.
First of all, I just wanted to introduce my daughter, who is the treasurer and human resource for River City Commercial Planning. My son-in-law, Jason, is the vice president and he oversees operation. And Joe is our operations manager at the airport. My name is Glenn Wilson. I'm president of River City Commercial Planning. I've had the business approximately 30 years. We've been at the airport and health and welfare and City Hall for 28 years. Tonight, what I want to do is emphasize our employees. We've got some long-term employees that have been with us at the airport, and we have facilities 10 to 28 years. And, through all those years, we helped service over 2 million military personnel coming through during the two wars. We came through that very difficult period of COVID, which it was difficult, but we managed it and got through it and followed all the guidelines we had to have. And then during the time when 9/11 happened, they had to have more security. So now we have to go through almost 5 steps to get certified to work there. You have to go through customs, you have to go through TSA, you have to go through the city of Bangor, state police, and FAA. They all have different criteria for background checks. And what's amazing sometimes one will approve and another one won't approve. And of course, that's confidentiality. I have to say I'm very proud of our employees. I can't say enough of them. I can put them up against anybody. There was times there at that airport, sometimes there was thousands of people in there at once, plus military flights. And I've been out there many times, and I don't know how they did it, but they did. And I think one of the things I think about, I can remember back over the years, we got letters from passengers that complimented on the airport and how clean it was and how clean the bathrooms were. And sometimes they make comments to our employees out there. And you know, that means a lot because for me, I've been a taxpayer in Bangor for 60 years. And the airport's always been a diamond to me. You know, people get off the airplane, that's the first thing they see is that facility. So I've always been very proud of the airport and what our employees have accomplished. We have a number of, and the other thing that's important to us as a company, we always put our employees first. We always believe in a good wage. We have a lot of single moms that work for us. And we always want to make sure that they were secure in their job. They didn't have to go out and work 2 and 3 jobs to support their family. So that's something we're very proud of because we always put them first above everything else. And we do other large facilities today. We do about 90% of Northern Light, East Main Medical Center facilities in Bangor. We do the new Bangor Savings Bank down on Main Street. We started with them and still with them. They're very satisfied. And we do the healthcare mall on Union Street. So there's some large facilities that we have to oversee. And so our people have to be really trained in in the field of doing cuts. So it's not just going in and cleaning an office. Special training in the medical facility, special training at the airport. So I just want to make sure that I emphasize the importance of these employees and what their job means to all of them. And I did some statistics. And last year, for the 3 contracts, our profit, we put through the city of Bangor approximately a little over $500,000 went through the economy, business. And from the employees, about $2.5 million last year. And to me, that says a lot because our employees both of them are from Bangor, probably. And that's 6%. And so I did some statistics, and really the difference between the low bidder and ourselves, it really came down because we're giving a 2% discount. So it came down to about a $250 difference a week between them and I. So I hope that you folks would consider that tonight, especially when we're local. And we have a good reputation. Never have any major complaints. Nothing's ever perfect. We all know that. But we've had some long-term contracts, and that tells me something about our employees. That they've done a great job. So I just see if there's anything else I just wanted to mention. Oh, the other thing we started doing wasn't in the contract. A number of years now. We clean the aircrafts inside now. And that brings in a lot of good revenue to the airport. They get an upcharge for every time we clean one of the aircrafts. And we've been doing that now for a number of years. So there's a lot of things you don't always see unless you're right there at the airport at what the employees do. So I want to thank you for this time. Right now, I think we have between the 2 facilities somewhere around 20, 25 employees. So thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
No.
Questions to Mr. Wilson, right here?
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Just have a question for this. So his price, the 1.9, and he just mentioned his comment about 2%. Is that part of the bid? Is that included in this price, or is it like, I guess?
Yeah, that was
2%?
included.
No, but I mean, is that before or after the 2%?
That's after.
That's after. So
That's not after.
Oh, it's not after.
not
I'm
after.
sorry.
do we know if any of the other ones gave any type of discount? What is it for, like paying within 30 days or something like? What's the 2% for paying within 30 days?
Usually. Yeah, usually
Okay.
net 30.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So.
And then I do have, on the website, we posted the bid tabs individually. for each year,
Yeah.
for each location. But the ones that are in your packet, it's a summary of all locations.
First, I mean, I have no problem with the recommendation. I think if the group was looking at this, it would make sense. Okay, you're gonna go to a company that's qualified, and a low bidder, and that's what I think staff should make their recommendation on. But, you know, and I often have struggled with this. I've looked at this and struggled with it because I think but somebody from the outside, well, how do you get to do business with the city? Somebody said the contract for 28 years, we'd like to have a chance at it. But I also have been a proponent of keeping things local as well. I mean, the recommendations for a company in Massachusetts, obviously the employees are gonna end up being local, but if you take off the 2%, and I've often thought, you know, what should you get for being a local bidder? What's, you know, some percent, is it 2%, 3%? I mean, say it's 2%, and with the 2% discount, then basically the bids would be about even. So I'm just struggling, give it to, you know, they've got 28-year experience at the airport, or not just the airport, but airport, city hall. And for that small amount of money, I'm just, I don't have a problem with the recommendation. I just have a problem voting to approve the recommendation. I just think that we should give to the local bidder.
Councilor Dean.
Was this decision based purely on finances?
The departments made the decisions together, so I'm not really sure.
Can I make one more comment? I did forget. We also have experience in the wheelchair.
Needs to be an update for the people online can see.
Come up, oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Fine. I agree with that.
I meant to mention that we also have wheelchair experience right now. We've been helping the airlines with the wheelchair assistance. And that's an area too that has a lot of state regulations when it comes to caring for people in the wheelchair. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Other questions? Councilor Hahn?
You kind of wrote the thing, I mean, the departments have a right to view their bids, decide who they want to recommend. And I think we all, most of the time, want to try to get the lowest bidder. However, you have to look at the quality that you're getting now. You know, if things are going well, I don't necessarily feel that you have to keep going out for bid each time. And you hear all the time, I travel a lot and I hear passengers talking about the airport, how nice it is. And, you know, the people are nice and friendly and this and that. And they do wheelchair service as well, which is not easy to do. You know, and there's a lot of training that goes into it and there's a risk of employees being harmed by that. So I think we've had such a good run. I just don't see any reason to change courses now. I think they've done a really good job out there. The people are happy with what we have. I don't think that I can support the recommendation.
Sorry, I just had one question. I hope maybe manager. Do you have a comment?
I was gonna ask Stephanie, just for my own and everyone else's knowledge, you know, if the recommendation isn't forwarded to full council, what would be next steps? Does that mean that we have to rebid the package or can it be awarded to a different? And if you don't know the answer, then that's fine. I think it's important to manage expectations about next steps.
Pretty confident we can award it
Decision
to.
that we-
You
Yeah.
can say award it to a different, okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right, I just had a question. On the bid, there was a breakdown, and you had it broken down there for City Hall and. Do we know what that breakdown was for?
Or
I see it for,
on the award recommendation
right,
page.
but I didn't see it broken down for the others.
No, it was only broken down for the first year for this proposer.
Do you have that information?
I could get that information. It's on, actually.
And where I'm going with this,
Mhm.
I mean, the airport is self-sufficient, it's on bills, and that's the biggest number here.
Mhm.
And I'm just trying to find out what we could replicate between what the two bidders might have in that.
I have the breakdown that was posted on the website per location, which is this copy. And that's posted on the website by location, by year, if you'd like to see that.
So what was it for River City,
For River City,
for the airport?
the airport. The first year was 555, 750.
So City Hall and the
City Hall was, I'm sorry, Public Health was 24/7 for the first year. And City Hall was 55, 575 for the first year. And then the optional wheelchair services for the first year was 420.
And the tax rate is very, yeah, the tax rate is very significant.
$3,000.
Right.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
And that's why
so it's right.
And if we haven't accounted for this too.
Yeah.
That's all.
Now, unless I read it wrong, this particular one right now is not counting the wheelchair? Is that gonna come back to us at another time? I'm getting nods
No.
yes and nods no.
I think it's, she can, it's part of the bid, but it's not paid for by the city, it's just a pass through the airlines. So I don't believe it, so I think it's just part of the winning bid.
Okay, so the way it was read. All right,
Right?
oh, there it is. I looked for him back then.
Counter back.
I just had a question about the wheelchair piece of it and how much that factored into the decision to go with Star Janitorial with, you know, the differences there. I understand it's a pass through, but also if it's sold to the airlines. I don't know if that matters, and I'm just curious to see here how much that factored into this decision.
I'm sorry.
Good evening, Jose Saavedra, Airport Director. As far as I'll provide a little bit more context of where we are currently. So the current services that we have are only cleaning services. There's no service provider on site that that provides wheelchair services. That is a new additional service that went out as an add-on alternate to this bid. With the understanding that there were pending discussions with the airlines because that's an add-on service. So the understanding and the conversations that we had with the airlines was that that we would go out and RFP for cleaning services and ask bidders that if they were able and willing to provide additional services for wheelchairs. And the vast majority of the bidders did submit a proposal for wheelchair services. One of them, I believe, did not. And so the decision was not made based off of the wheelchair services. It was solely made on the cleaning services requirements that were outlined in the RFP.
Any other questions? Councilor Mallon.
I noticed you have no experience with this new company. Have you conversed with any of your other airports to see if they work there and
Yes.
what?
Yes, they are currently a service provider for the Peace Authority in New Hampshire, and they have a number of other municipalities that they serve across the area, and we'll check references with those. There were a total of about 12 different references submitted for Star Janitorial.
Positive references.
Positive references.
Any other questions? Councilor Dean.
Yes, for Jose, since you're now at the table, was this purely a financial decision?
It was not. It was based on a number of factors that included quality of service and the ability to meet the growing needs of the airport.
So have there been concerns with the current situation?
there had been a number of instances where we believe that the needs of the airport were not being met.
Thank you.
Other questions, comments? Or motion?
Make a motion to move forward with the staff recommendation for services.
Second.
No,
Around the table, Counselor Beck,
Yes.
Counselor Haas,
No.
Counselor Dean,
Yes.
Counselor Trumbull.
no,
Um. Gonna say yes. So this will move on to council. For their decision. Just to explain my position, financially, I'm not concerned, I'm more concerned about the quality of service that's happening at the airport. And if that's being diminished in some way, that I'm gonna side with staff on that. I feel bad about having someone having contracted with the city for 25, 30 years. I hate to see that go. But, that's the reason why I voted that way. Next up on the agenda. Doing national
Comment.
we're done with this, I think, voted. We'll go on council. Be happy to come to the council meeting, which will be next week. It will be an agenda. Next up, we're tabling the second request here for qualifications on the engineering services. We'll come back to that next finance committee meeting. Next up is state contract patrol vehicle.
Yes, this is for 3 patrol vehicles. The police department has budgeted for the purchase of 3 for fiscal year 26. They will be purchased under the State of Maine Master Bid Agreement with Darlings Ford of Bangor. This did not go out to bid per the city procurement policy for authority to join groups. The budgeted amount for the purchase of the new 2025 Ford Explorer patrol vehicles is $270,000, and the purchase price of each vehicle is $50,509, totaling $151,527. It will be funded through budgeted capital. 2 of the vehicles were totaled by the insurance company and 1 will be going to auction.
Move approval. And a motion, and a second, Councilor Miles.
I have just one quick question. Being new to the board, I'm curious. The amount that was set aside for the to purchase vehicles.
Mhm.
When one is wrecked, do the insurance proceeds go into that account, or are they kept in a separate account?
It goes to that account, but it is not approved to be spent within what was approved for the vehicles. So it doesn't give them additional money. They would have a balance after, for the capital project, they asked for 4 vehicles to be purchased plus a supervisor vehicle. They've purchased with this 3 vehicles and a supervisor vehicle. So they have 1 more vehicle that was approved through the budget. And they have 60,000 left to purchase that.
Alright, so what you say have 60,000 left plus the insurance proceeds for
The insurance proceeds will go, which are gonna be
what they're going to sell the other one for,
at auction,
right?
right, which will be approximately 38,500.
Okay, so the question I had, do they carry anything over year to year?
That portion, the 270 was not carried over, but they have bought the supervisor vehicle, which is next, the used vehicle, and the detective vehicle a couple weeks ago with carryover money, which was 88,000.
So really, they didn't
So
have,
this is separate from
they
the
didn't have
carryover.
200 and whatever you said, 1,000, plus the 88 was what was
Plus
in
the 88.
reserve. It just seems to me that I understand what you're doing, but it's not really apparent when you read the financials. It looks like we've only appropriated 270,000. We didn't carry over any balance, which is a misleading item. So logically, we probably should have not reserved 170 coming out of this tax year. We should have reduced it by the amount carried over to reduce the tax for the citizen. Because they're not gonna spend it, because you said they couldn't.
The 38 that they get in addition to
Right.
what they get from the insurance company.
So I don't understand why we carried it over. Unless it was a reduction in what we increased through this year.
The authority to carry over though would have been contained in the budget
Yes.
to carry over.
I'm sure, but it's confusing when you read the budget because it doesn't reflect that.
I see. So it's an information.
Well, yes, but if you can't spend it, why are you carrying it over?
No, we can spend the 88,000.
What can you spend it for?
It was authorized. to
It was
carry over.
authorized to carry over 88,000 for used vehicles. And then we already purchased a detective vehicle for 26,000 and now a supervisor vehicle for 36. So of the 88 that was carried over, we have a balance of 26.
So, and then of the,
And then we have the 270,
which you're spending 150 of.
right?
And if you buy one more vehicle, you're only authorized to buy one, so you're gonna have 80,000 carryover next year. And my concern is, why are we having all this carryover? If we're trying to run a tight ship, we don't carry over that much, or the carryover should reduce the amount of the appropriations for next year.
And that would be something that we could talk about as part of the budget process when you approve the language to authorize the carryover, we could reduce the carryover amount.
I'm having a hard time following your math there. Only because if there is another purchase of another vehicle, we would take it out of that carryover. If we were to do that.
Another used vehicle comes out of the carryover.
Yeah.
I understand that. I'm not complaining about how we're spending
Into
it.
the year.
Excuse me?
We're only 3 months into the year.
I understand that.
Okay.
But we don't usually appropriate money with the condition that we're going to be spending. We said 4 vehicles, so that's what we were anticipating. So we're not anticipating spending for 5 vehicles, which essentially we have the money left over to do. That was the point. Why is it sitting there? Because the tax rate is affected by the amount in the reserves. So if we're fiscally prudent, we would be reducing the amount we put in every year by the amount that's left over from the year before.
I get it. But you can't anticipate everything that's gonna happen.
Granted, that's why we have an emergency area.
That's why we have a carryover too.
But the carryover could become excessive.
We can go back and forth on this.
Yeah, I agree.
We have a motion, we have a second. Seeing no doubt, that will carry forward. Next up, purchase of the supervisor vehicle.
Yes, this is for a used supervisor vehicle, a 2023 Ford Explorer with 27,913 miles. The police department has budgeted 88,000 for the purchase of the supervisor vehicle. The price of the vehicle is 36,000. The guidelines to purchase the used vehicle have been previously established and were adhered to in order to make the purchase fair and equitable for both the vendors as well as the city's best interest.
Thank you. Anything else? Or any comments on that? Any other items coming before?
That was the last one?
Great, thanks.